Good afternoon from Sacred Space at Titania's Realm. It's 1:05 p.m. on the 30th of March 2024, Saturday. I had a lovely time yesterday afternoon, early evening, late afternoon. I took Charlie for our customary walk around the block, which, to be fair, I hadn't done for about 4 days because I was utterly exhausted from my wild shamanic dancing on the weekend. No regrets, had a fabulous time, but yeah, my body kind of went into kind of a shock, as it sometimes does. Plus, I had that unpleasantness of the aerodynamics testing on Wednesday. Was it Tuesday or Wednesday? Wednesday. So I feel a bit beaten up by life, but I'm okay. We had a nice walk around the block, and we stopped at, as we often do, to visit the Blue Healer up on Opal Street. So he had a cuddle, Blue Boy. He was actually quite happy to see me because I haven't been, as I said, been walking much. And then I continued on my walk, going around the block, down Cavendish Road and back down into Turquoise Street. So I stopped to chat to my neighbour Avril, who lives on the corner of Turquoise and Cavendish Road. Had a lovely long chat to her. She's quite a devout Christian, but spiritual. So we had a nice chat about Good Friday and how her father was Catholic, but she still likes to eat fish on Good Friday out of like a cultural, habituated tradition, which I completely understood, even though I'm not Catholic. We all have our little food habits that we adhere to when you come from religious backgrounds. So, like me, still refusing to eat pork or shellfish, even though I ate pork as a child. And the only reason I don't eat shellfish is I hate seafood, but I hate the smell of it. It just makes me start heaving immediately. I mean, I will eat fish, but you'll never get me to eat shellfish, people. So in that respect, I'm quite kosher, although I'm not as bothered by pig products because I was raised on it too, but I try not to eat it and I don't bring it in my house. So I have my weird little food aberrations that are brought on by programming from my religious background too. But anyway, so I was chuckling because my neighbour said to me, I don't even know why I still do this only eating fish on Good Friday thing. She said I got invited to a barbecue. Everyone eats meat and I had to bring my own fish and they all thought it was weird. And I went, it's not weird, it's a tradition. It's what you're comfortable with. It's what gives you peace in your soul. I said, just live your best life. Don't give a fuck what anyone else thinks of you, But it does seem weird sometimes, especially when we're not all that religious anymore, that how we can maintain these little cultural motifs, I call them, that make no sense to anyone but us. It is a bit weird at times. Anyway, I carried on my walk from her and I stopped in to see my friends and neighbours that live on the corner of Sapphire and Turquoise Street. And little Coco came running out to me and Robin was there with Pete, so they were both very excited to see me, which was delightful. And Robin's a New Zealander like me, kissed each other's cheek. And I took one look at Peter and I could tell he wasn't quite right. He struggles with depression. Well, I don't have depression anymore, but I understand it well because I struggled with it for decades, So I took one look at his face and I knew, so I didn't say too much. And so I gave him a kiss on the cheek and I said to him, there you go, Peter. I very rarely kiss you on the cheek. I said, it looks like you could do with a little bit of Tanya affection. And he laughed, I don't normally kiss him because he's a little bit sweet on me on some level, even though he has his beautiful partner, Robin. He likes to stir me up something chronic, and sometimes when he's not well, he'll stir me up into a blazing row, and it's kind of weird. He's a Virgo too. It's kind of weird how he does that. My ex-husband was the same, got titillated by me being upset or in a rage. It's kind of a perversion, actually. Don't want relationships like that ever again. I need a man who knows how to keep me happy and satisfied and peaceful and relaxed in my own body, mind and spirit. Which is not an easy thing to achieve since I'm a fire sign and I'm passionate and wild and conflagrate when I see, great injustices. And anyway, but look, my friend Peter down the road, although he likes to spark me up a bit, is actually quite a sweet person, bottom line, and does have a fondness for me. So he was actually thrilled when I blessed him with a kiss on his cheek, Anyway, and I had cuddles with little Coco, and then Robin said, I'm going to come on the walk with you, have a walk with Coco, which was lovely. She often does that, comes around with me. So we continued to walk down Turquoise Street, and when we got past the house along the edge of the forest there, the lovely young couple that just moved there in December that blessed me with bread about a month ago, the young man Victor yells out, Tanya! And I thought that was delightful. So I'm like, yes, it's me going past. And they must have been a bit bored and lonely sitting there in their house on Good Friday. There was a heavy energy yesterday. This real seeping sadness in the zeitgeist. I could feel it permeating, almost like vibrating at the edges of my soul. I was like, fuck, I hate bloody religious holidays, including my own Jewish ones at times. Certain holidays I just find fucking depressing. But I mean, there's nothing more depressing than Good Friday if you're a Christian, commemorating the torture and crucifixion of a very sweet being, like, I don't understand that religion. I never could understand it. That's why I left it behind me by the time I was 6 years old, when they said we're the only ones allowed to go to heaven. I thought, fool, this ain't for me. So Miss Five rebelled vaingloriously, as she's known to do, being by nature defiant and free-spirited and wild and carefree and joyous in her core. So anyway, young Victor comes out, all excited to see me, and his partner Nikki comes out. She says, would you like some bread, Tanya? I said, oh, my darling, I'm a Jew. I'm never one to reject food. I said, food is food, people. She says, oh, I've got some spare bread. And she looks at Robin. I introduced him to Robin. Would you like some? So she came out with a baguette and a loaf of rye bread. So I said to Robin, we'll cut it in half at my place, so we've got half of each. So she was thrilled about that too. And I gave her some limes to take home that my tree's producing in autumn, which is a strange time to be producing limes, quite frankly. So anyway, it was all quite lovely, and we had a chat with Victor and Nikki, and they're a lovely young couple. They're very sweet. And then the other young teenage, she's got this beautiful blazing red hair, beautiful young girl. I think her sister's got red hair too, both redheads. But they trot around with their little dogs. So she was coming past with her little dog, Monty, who's a little fluffy black dog. And then he was playing with little Coco, and it was just like a big kind of neighbourhood party. Even the dogs were happy. So, and she had a plastic Ziploc bag with treats for Monty, but she'd pegged it to the edge of her skirt like a little pocket. And I looked at her, it's very, very kind of Aspergery, thinking outside the square kind of thing to do. So I looked at her and I said, oh, I love how creative you are, how you've made a pocket for the treats. And she looked down and she laughed and said, oh, yeah. I said, oh, that's very, very creative, thinking outside the box. I said, I like that. She's very shy, doesn't know how to take me. Very introverted. As I'm pretty sure she's on the spectrum. I'm pretty sure. She just sort of looks at me in horror sometimes, doesn't know how to take me. So anyway, but she's only a kid, 15, 16, 17, if that. So anyway, so I chuckled and I said, "Oh, you are gorgeous, darling." And she got all shy and weird about that, having some adult woman tell you that you're gorgeous. But I've got a penchant for redheads. I was born with red hair for the love of all the gods. And my great grandfather was a fiery red-headed Irishman who still spoke with a brogue, which is kind of weird because he was born in New Zealand. But anyway, must have kept the brogue from his parents. And apparently, he also liked dancing and played music and was in a band and, was actually quite talented. So, I mean, we're talking my grandfather's father. Or was it my grandfather's grandfather? Thomas Phillips. Anyway, his father, I think. Anyway, he was a real character, is what I'm saying, and had flaming bright red hair and was wild, which sort of comes with redheads too. We're all a bit kind of wild, even though technically my hair's not red anymore. It's still in my spirit, right? The neshama knows best its own self-expression in this Mandelbrot patterning, Mandelbrot, whatever it's called, patterning in the space-time continuum, creating our own selves, putting ourselves out in the world, glitching in and out of reality. Sometimes we're here, sometimes we're not. Us redheads, oh my gosh, we are unusual. But anyway, little girl from around the corner of Turquoise Street was both kind of horrified but kind of awestruck that she got to have a little conversation with me. She kind of scurries past my house and keeps her head down and is nervous, I caught her the other day studiously reading my copper sign on my front gate that says sacred space, no hawkers, no trespassers, no proselytizers, and no psychic vampires. And I could see her really pondering all of this, wondering a bit about the state of my mind and why I am where I am today, I suppose. Well, my darlings, if you want to know why I am the way I am today, all you need to do is read my vocal media or watch my YouTube videos. Or, if you're really audacious and brave, come and meet me in person and get it directly from the horse's mouth in 3D reality. Usually in no uncertain terms, right? But anyway, you have to chuckle. They're a sweet family, and the little redhead girls and the parents. The mother's a bit nervous of me too, for some odd reason. But their dad has been befriending me for the last month or so as he goes past and stopped occasionally to have little chats. And yeah, they're so excited about their little puppy dogs. They're only 6 months old and they're just delightful. Monty and Franklin. And when the wife was going past the other day with Franklin, little Franklin was trying to climb my wire fence and get to me. Dogs just love me. I don't know why. I'm not very good at controlling and training dogs, but maybe that's why they love me. They can sense my inner wildness and they smell freedom. I can do whatever I want, whatever, and they get very excited. So, but anyway, little Franklin was literally throwing himself trying to scale my steel mesh fence, and I was trying to reach down to him and pat him, and then he started talking to me in puppy language. We had a good old chat, and I said to his owner, I said, I have no idea what he's saying, but it seems very important, so I just joined in. She thought that was delightful. It's like, sometimes I'm like that with animals though. Like, I don't know what they mean in, in actual English words, or sometimes I confabulate and make up what they say. But sometimes you can just communicate just with energy. Like, it is a form of telepathy. And I said, he's telling me he's having a fabulous time, but he wants more treats. And I just sort of make things up sometimes. But he was a delightful little dog. And his little brother was a delightful puppy going around with his red-headed sister too. Anyway, so that kid's going to get fucking run over one day. My God. Little African kid, no bike helmet, just speeding down the crossroads, not looking right or left, just screaming and going down. My heart's in my mouth. But then I have to remember I was like that as a kid and I survived, didn't I? Only fucking just though. Oh dear goddess. I'm going to have a word to his parents to get him a little helmet and teach him about looking right and left. That he's going to get murdered, that kid. But then it's sometimes like that, the wild ones. It's like we have an extra angel looking after us. So we do these life-threatening feats and we somehow magically survive them. I have a long history of that, people. It's very, very incongruent, which ironically is the title of my readings from today. So, oh yes, anyway, I must carry on finishing my little tale about our walk around the block. So Robin and I keep walking. We come down to approach near my front gate because I said I'll cut up the bread, and she said she didn't want the bread, and I said don't be ridiculous. It was given for us to share, and I have no intention in not sharing the bread. I said that's just insane to do that. This is how I am. I'm Jewish, We share the food, people. We always share the food. So so she came in with little cocoa. But anyway, before that, the neighbour from directly across from me was coming up with his little girl and their little dog Rusty. And I'm like, hello Rusty, because I always communicate with the animals first. I'm like that. And so and Rusty's like, yay! And he's a little red-coloured redhead Cocker Spaniel, American Springer, or some kind of dog like that. He's gorgeous, and he was like busting on his leash to get to me, and so cute. And so then we had a chat to, I forget that man's name actually, across the road from me. I did know it. It's just gone off the top of my head, disappeared. I had trouble remembering Nikki's name too. It's just crazy. But anyway, I am sleep deprived, so there is that. Well, I didn't have too bad a night last night. I only got up twice. That's a good night, people. It's a very good night indeed. So anyway, so we saw the neighbours from across the road as well. It was just such a convivial feeling because I've been feeling blah all day with Good Friday and the energy that was permeating. It was like we all decided in the late afternoon to enliven ourselves and have a walk, which did us all the power of good. I decided today that maybe I should invite some of the neighbours. Maybe we should start a thing where we play board games once a week or something, just on a weekend when it's a blah, drab day like that. See if anyone wants to play Scrabble and Monopoly. That'd be fun. Then I'm very competitive when I play games. That's why I don't like playing games, people. I take it too much to heart. Maybe they don't need to know that about me. It's better that they don't have to compete with me with Scrabble games. But anyway, it's quite funny. But yeah, no, I should. It'd be nice to have the companionship and someone play Scrabble with me. Would you like to play Scrabble with me, Charlie? She says, Mummy, I can't spell. I only talk in energy. I know what you would do. You would pick up all the little pieces and you'd lick them and nibble them. And then you'd chuck them back on the board. And then you'd probably try and chew up the board as well because she does like to chew up paper and books and cardboard. She's quite destructive because she's, a lorikeet. Parrots do this, don't they? They do this, don't they? Oh, look, I'm getting the best cuddle. I'm getting the best cuddle. Oh, do you love your mum? Do you love your mummy? You do, don't you? Yes, you do. You love your mum. Haven't seen much of them today. We were outside and I was sorting through my trance drumming notes, trying to work out how much is lies and deception and delusions and how many things have actually come true, which, to be honest, is a bit astonishing. Very astonishing. Anyway, we shall see what we shall see. What the gods have for us, Charlie. What is meant to be ours will manifest in a gentle, kind, sweet, loving, respectful way. And what isn't meant to be ours can slough itself off. Meaning if it's someone nasty and negative and vicious, hopefully not. I can't go through that ever again. It's not survivable, people. It's just not survivable. So we'll see. We'll see. Mama T's sitting back very circumspect at the moment. Yes. Close. We got the birdie. Ow! Even the birdie's love is real, but she also sometimes likes to bite the mama. She's not really biting, she's just nibbling. Yeah, nibble nuts. Nibble knobby nuts. Oh, hello. Do I get a kiss? Sometimes she says back. Alright, that's enough happy burbling and waffling and procrastinating. Let's get into it, shall we? Yes. 30th of March 2024. And it's titled with a quote from Gabrielle Roth. In many shamanic societies, if you came to a medicine person complaining of being disheartened, dispirited, or depressed, they would ask one of 4 questions. When did you stop dancing? When did you stop singing? When did you stop being enchanted by stories? When did you stop finding comfort in the sweet territory of silence? Everything has to happen in perfect equilibrium and equal measure, my darlings. 30th of March 2024 today. A quiet day. I still feel fatigued. I went through my trance drumming notes. A few interesting things amidst the psychobabble. Time will tell what manifests in 3D reality. If at all, life is interesting. That's all I have to say about that, because Mama T's wary and has been played for full historically most of the time in previous love affairs, so I'm very, very wary now. And it's a shame that I have to be like that. I like how I used to be before life kicked me in the guts too many times, where I would just joyfully, sometimes impulsively, lurch myself into new romances and with all the excitement and joy in the world, and then I'd get burned and decimated or desecrated. So I had to learn to pull back all my energies and heal my body, mind and spirit, and love myself in all the ways no other mortal man can love me. And this is where I'm at now. 8 years later, 9 years later actually. It doesn't matter. I'm living my best life, my darlings. I really am. And I'm surrounded by people who treat me with kindness and honour and integrity. And believe you me, that makes me happy too. And here's a beautiful photo of my Bobo lying on the armchair beside me, the arm of the couch beside me. And here's the model of my wax ring that I actually did make and pull. Oh, Charlie, that's not nice. Here's a video I shared from Dr. John Campbell. I entitled it The Motherfuckers, London Research on, the you-know-what and the you-know-who that we've gone through in the last 4 years. Then I had a moment of religiosity. I shared a song, If I Forget You, O Jerusalem. And the reason I did that, as I wrote below, I'm having this constant psalm pervading my thoughts since yesterday. I'm not even a religious Jew anymore. Or am I? Sometimes it slips out like a petticoat, which is why a few weeks ago I was explaining that to some guy in the club when he wanted to hail Satan, and I said, don't bring that energy into my life right now. And he said, why? I said, because I'm a Jew and my petticoat's slipping, and I had to pull my dress up to show him my white lacy petticoat. And he was laughing so much because, it's my weird sense of humour. I said, my religiosity just slipped. I'll have to put that away. Anyway, it was just so cute. Sometimes I'm cute and adorable and even laugh at myself. It's all a bit bizarre sometimes. Anyway, someone in big capital letters wants me to remember my covenant. Wow, I'm not that religious anymore. I'm more spiritual than religious. I actually did engrave Yahweh's name into the top of that ring, but it didn't work out when I cast the silver, so now I have to engrave the name. I have to buy gravers and try and engrave it into the actual finished ring, and I'm a bit nervous because I don't really know how. I guess I could take it to a professional jeweler and have them laser engrave it. That way I'm guaranteed it'll be a success, right? So I don't want to fuck up God's name on my ring and have it say something else and attract the wrath of the gods down upon me, literally. Got a long history of that too, darlings. But yeah, look, it looks nice. I might actually do that, get that finished off. Mama T, the Tanya, and all her wild, crazy, weird ways, still cleaving to her Holy One, who tortures me. He's tortured me for 59 years. Is it really the Holy One if your God is capricious and a bit mean to you and makes you jump through hoops and withholds your truly loving partner, or creates situations where the men you fall in love with are not available, and it goes round and round and round like a hell loop, and I want to run screaming right now? Is it really my fault? Someone with a divine plan orchestrating things is tweaking my spirit as he does from time to time. Sometimes not very kindly or gently either. What if God was a gentleman and treated me with sweetness and kindness for a change? This is my relationship with the Holy One. This is how we talk to each other. That's why I'm laughing. It's cute. My first wax ring demands to be a religious talisman. What protection am I needing? I dare not question it too much. The Holy One knows, and my secular neshama knows. To every season there is a turning and a returning. Sometimes I forget I am a Jew, also forget I am mortal. It's a kind of insanity, keeping faith in God and dark, demonic, hell-ridden dance spaces in a world seeped in its own gene-altering blood. I tried to warn them, but it fell on deaf ears and blind eyes. Even the intellectuals now admit they were played for fools. But now I must dance on the bodies of my enemies as Kali and tear my hair out as I watch the illnesses pervade humanity. Soul death along with physical death as they worshipped at the feet of Moloch or that other unmentionable demon because they wanted to believe the deception that we would all be safe. Sad but true. Aye, there is no safety in madness. Quote unquote Tanya Aarons. Only God decides who merits a safe and peaceful, prosperous, healthy life, and that energy denied me of that long enough. So he throws me crumbs, lifelines, and sends angels to assist me and bids me not to forget him or her. How can any mortal ever forget that we pass through this life but once in each incarnation? So we bloody well better make the best of a bad situation and hold true to what is eternal, our souls. Yerushalayim, another holy sacred site I will very likely never see or feel or touch with my entire body and soul, as the gods denied me prosperity and strength and a loving partner. C'est la vie, bitches. Yes, c'est la bloody vie. But I am making my jewellery, if only as a distraction from the madness that is seeping like an invisible rising damp, keeping vague hope alive. Blessed is the Holy One, the true Judge. And it occurs to me, even if I did work myself almost to death, my honourable mistress, and got somehow the money to visit Jerusalem and all the other sacred sites I wish to see, I am an ungrateful, churlish, petulant woman who, after all my yearning, would probably get there and go, meh, this is not what I expected. Next. So the gods know best that my true love must be nurtured from within, and the external dreams, aspirations, longings, desires, whims will disappear like the beckoning mirages to a woman dying in the desert, thirsty for God and Goddess, but her thirst never slaked, because it's a big universe, and there is always more to attain and more to dream, and it's endless and unattainable, well, in this physical form at least. Watch me fly when I transition this body one fine day. It's going to be amazing, people. I hope I remember that it's meant to be amazing though. Fulfill all my dreams. So wake up, Tanya. Know thyself. Do what can and must be done to survive. And let the mirages become the kaleidoscopic shadows on the walls of your mind. Emet. Emet is Hebrew for truth. The dream has become a nightmare and a curse, and the timelines need recalibrating, but it may be too little, too late. The times of tribulations are intensifying. Many around me are struck down with manifestations of illness and other evils. Hold the line. My prayers are sent out to those currently facing major health crises, but I am not God, and I can only